Everybody, how we doing? All right, that gives me a good gauge of where we're at this morning. It is Thanksgiving week. I am excited to be up here. I'm happy for Thanksgiving week because it's good food week. Like this, that's one of my core values, and so it's so good to get to share that meal together. It's true. Food is one of my core values.
And then your voice cracked. It was just funny. Sorry.
Listen, puberty hits us all at different stages.
I know.
I'm thankful up here to be with you guys as a church. I'm thankful for my bride. I'm thankful for my family. There's just so much to be thankful for in this season. And can I just share, speaking of our church family, can I share a little family update with you? Is that all right? Okay, good, because I was going to, whether you said yes or not.
Yep.
We have been working over the last couple of months. We started in October toward our home campaign. We've been working in our home campaign for the last 2 years. It's supposed to end at the end of this year. And we've been working to raise the funds for our future home, a building for our church, and we started a matching gift opportunity in October to raise $200,000 that would get matched between October and the end of December. And as of this week, can I share that update with you? I'm excited because as of this week, that update has grown to $111,000 in the last month and a half. That's so good.
The confetti pieces fell too soon.
It's so, I don't know, this confetti has got to be at least 5 years old.
I know.
That's falling from the ceiling.
But if it would have fallen like at that point, that would have been really awesome.
That's a missed opportunity.
I know. Okay.
That's good. I talked to somebody this week whose family has just been crazy generous through this whole campaign, and they were like, man, you said to give until it hurts, and we have. And it's about time for this campaign to be done. And I feel that. And I get it because my wife has been pushing us in the same way actually just a couple of weeks ago. She's like, we need to do this. And it made me pucker in every possible way. And I was like, okay, I'll trust with you. And so it's so inspiring to be around generosity that's inspired by generosity. Like it's just so good to be a part of that. We've got some new people who have just started giving in the last couple of weeks. I'm just as grateful for every little bit of that because it all gets us closer and closer to that full time home of our own. It's coming. It's coming. All right, let me take us into our series. We are in our Lost Art of Friendship series. We've been talking this month all about those types of relationships and those type of friendships that we were made for, the ones that our hearts truly long for. And talking about how, honestly, there's no better way to say it. We've lost the art of friendship in our culture quite a bit. And so it's reclaiming that and learning how to do it well. And we've talked about a bunch of different angles. You can go back and watch and catch up. Today we're going to talk a little bit different angle. We're going to talk about friendship inside of marriage. Because it's just a big thing. Marriage for us is a big deal. We are very passionate about investing in marriages and caring for marriages from premarital counseling all the way through till the end of lives because it just matters so much. When you are in a good, healthy marriage, everything around you is good and healthy, and it affects every part of you. When your marriage is struggling, every part of you and every part of your life is struggling, and it's hard to differentiate them because they're so intertwined, and it affects every part of our lives. And I know for a fact inside of this church there and those watching online, because it's real for our world, there's a lot of marriages and there's a lot of relationships that are hurting and struggling right now. And I want to talk about that because it's important that we invest in those relationships, and not just how to be friends, because that's important, but how to stay friends, even when you're not feeling it. Because sometimes we're not always feeling it, but we got to invest in the same way.
Absolutely, because the best marriages are built on friendship. And chances are you were friends before you decided you were going to get married. As we were thinking about all of the things for this week and coming up and talking, we were reminiscing and being nostalgic. And so when we first met, we were orientation mentors at Central Michigan University, which means we were the ones that were like the hype crew for the incoming freshmen. And so that summer, we spent like every minute of time together. In fact,
much time together.
We had mock awards at the awards banquet. And when they did the awards, like everybody just kind of voted for their own things, right? So you don't really know what categories it was going to be. So he got most likely to be seen with Stephanie, and I got most likely to be seen with David, because we were just a package deal. We were literally always together.
That's fine with me.
Right, and then that summer, that's when we officially started dating. So then we made these really, really cute photo books. So this was
cute.
in the time
Guys,
of
they were so cute.
Digital cameras. This was before we took them on our phones, right? So we took all these amazing pictures over the summer when we were in orientation, and we made these adorable...
Adorable, guys. They were adorable.
Stop it. Photo books with like love notes in them. Oh my gosh. And then, oh my gosh. So the summer... you know, you guys remember in college, you have to go back home for the summer and you have to part ways with your friends and your boyfriends and things like that. So we would come and visit each other at each other's houses, but then you're like, hey, Mom and Dad, just what are we gonna do today, right? And so we were trying to find something to do, and they had a closet upstairs that had all of this old clothing that was like from their 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, vintage. So we decided to do a fashion show. And so we went upstairs and we put on the clothes that his mom and dad wore. So he was wearing his dad's leisure suit and I was wearing his mom's dress. And we'd come downstairs and we were like, ta-da, right? And they were loving it and they'd tell us stories and we went back upstairs and we'd change it to something new and come down. It was hilarious.
Listen, I knew she was going to tell this story today because I know you. And so I did some digging and I found proof of this. You ready for this? You ready? Here it is. Here's proof. There it is. There it is. Do you see how much hair I had back then? Like so much. I had this big afro of hair that I took off after the picture.
So that is legitimately the leisure suit that
that's what my dad wore when he interviewed for his job teaching at Freeland High School. And he got the job.
Yes.
Like, that's so good.
Yes. So friendship, enjoying to be together, friendship, it's what brought us together. And if you maintain it, it's what's going to keep your marriage together. One of the things that David has said for as long as we've been married is that we have to still like each other when our kids leave. And when the kids were younger, I hated it. I hated it because it was always in a time where it was like, well, pick me or pick the kids. And, you know, your kids are little and they're needy and, you know, there's just this part of you that is like, you have to be there. And now I have kids that disappear into their room for 8 hours and I'm not sure if they're even still alive. And now I'm like, I see your point, right? Like I see why it matters that we still like each other and that we invest in each other because pretty soon it's going to go back to just being us and we have to enjoy the time that we spend together
and
as
some
friends.
days I'm really excited about that. And
yes.
other days I'm going to miss it.
Yeah.
But it's good.
But more days we're like, yes.
Those pizza rolls disappear so quick, and I don't even get a chance to eat them anymore.
I know.
And no, I don't know where that came from.
We have like
head.
dishwashers right now.
Yeah.
We have.
They love it too.
I know. We have laundry people. I mean.
This is good.
The work the helpers we have is very good. Yeah.
All right, let's jump back in because we could go on a tangent there. There's one word that really we lean into a lot when we do premarital counseling. When I meet with couples before they get married, the whole essence of marriage gets described right at the beginning of the book, right at the beginning of Genesis, when you see Adam and Eve together and God joins them together in this holy institute of marriage. There's one word that I want you to see in it when it describes it from Genesis 2:24. Says, that is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. That word one is there on purpose. It is a huge word, that they become one. They are united. They are a team. They are a partnership. They are together for all of time. This is when you get married, we say, for better or for worse, till death do us part. This is a lifetime commitment to being one, to being committed. And being one is really hard work. Being one with two is hard. It is hard to keep that consistency in it. And I talk with our premarital couples a lot about the language we use. And changing your language when you first start dating from life is about me to we. Moving from me to we. And it's really fun because they're like, okay, and you dig into it a little bit. But let's be honest, when you first get married, we is more like we. Like it's fun and it's exciting and everything's rainbows and unicorns and butterflies and it's just the best thing ever. But it's easy over time if you're not careful for that to start to drift and you start turning from we into we, and you become less partners and less excited and more roommates. And all of a sudden you're like, when did we get here? How did we go from yeah to yep, okay. But it happens so naturally in marriages, and we've got to fight for that. We've got to work toward that unity to keep that unity, that oneness together.
Yeah. So we wanted to show you guys this marriage triangle. So it's featured here, not to be confused with a love triangle. Not desirable in marriage.
That's a very different thing.
So in marriage, right?
That's a confident no-no.
Exactly. So we've got these 3 different parts of the relationship, and each one is so equally important. So there was actually a teen that was sitting up front and first, and she was like, I'm learning this in geometry, and all of those sides of the triangle are the exact same length, and they're the exact same amount. And I was like, that is exactly right, right? So in your relationship, you've got friendship, you've got partnership, and you've got lovers. And each one of those is such a vital piece of your relationship that if you lose one of those areas, it's going to affect the entire relationship.
Well, it's a struggle too, because I think the longer we've been married, the more we become partners, right? You got to organize schedules, you got to get kids in the right place, you got to make sure this is done and that's done, and dishes got to get done, and now this kid's out of clothes for the week, and we have to do like it becomes easy for that to consume or to take away from the others. It's really, it happens.
And I promise we're going to keep it PG, but even if you take out that lovers category, right? If you minus just that, everybody knows that's in a married relationship, things change, right? When you take that piece out, that intimacy piece, it can really affect the overall relationship. So each one really has this balance in your marriage.
Yeah. If you got your Bibles with you, here's where we're going to focus a lot of our time today, is in an Old Testament book that some of you, if you grew up in the church or you're familiar with your Bible, you're like, all right, here we go. We're going in a book of Song of Songs, or Song of Solomon, depending on your translation. And it's an Old Testament book that's, if you flip right to the middle, you're going to be in Psalms. Flip ahead a couple of books, and you're going to be in Song of Songs. And Song of Songs reads just like a really good romance novel. Like, let's just call it what it is. It's poetic, but it's a romance novel you might pick up off the shelves and you look at that sexy lumberjack and be like, that's the book for me, okay? Except there's no sexy lumberjack in it. He might have been a lumberjack, I don't know.
I don't know, but I feel like AI could totally do something to Jesus to like put it on the cover.
Nope.
I'm just saying.
Nope, we're not going there.
All right.
I'm just gonna walk right away from that one. I'm going back to Sexy Lumberjack because that's a much safer option.
Okay.
Just imagine a Lifetime movie, and that's where we're at.
That's where
except it's not. Okay, so inside of this book, it's a love letter. It's a passionate love letter between a husband and a wife. And if you read it, and I hope you do, take some time this week to go through and read this book if you've never read it before, or even just to review it. It is passion-filled between husband and wife, and it is very descriptive, and you're going to read some things and go, whoo, all right, whoo. That might be you reading through this, but that's what this book is. But long before there's passion in this book, you've got to see there is a deep root of friendship. And inside of this, there's a description part in chapter 5 where the wife talks all about her husband, all the different attributes and how much she likes him and all this, what he looks like and all of this. And at the very end of this phrase, she says this is my beloved, this is my friend. And that word friend is in there on purpose, because if the friendship struggles, the whole marriage struggles, and you've got to invest in that. I think friendship is where love grows best to begin with. It's where there's trust, it's where there's intimacy, it's where there's honesty, it's where there's laughter. That friendship really builds relationships well, and it doesn't just happen by accident. It happens because of a choice to invest in that friendship. It happens because of a choice to commit to each other, to dig in. It's definitely not, there is no such thing as a friendship that's a set it and forget it thing. Like, you can't just have a friend and we'd never talk again and we're still friends. Like, friendship takes work and it takes investment. Marriage takes work and investment. The friendship inside of the marriage takes work and investment. You might be really healthy in your marriage right now, but let me just give this illustration. Say you've got a house plant that you've got. It is beautiful and green. It's got a nice flower growing out of it. It looks healthy and wonderful. If you don't continue to water that flower, if you don't put it in sunlight where it can get the nourishment it needs, it's going to start to droop, and it's going to get crispy, and it's going to die. And the same is very true in our marriages and in our relationships. If you don't invest in it, if you don't keep pouring water into it, if you don't give it the sunlight it needs, if you don't give it the work that it needs, it will die and collapse. And your marriage isn't going to accidentally get stronger over time. It takes work. It's going to naturally drift apart at times, and you have to fight to keep that unity together and to keep that friendship inside of the marriage strong. And so what we want to do as we talk about this is we're going to give you some very practical ideas in this, just like we've done for this whole series. It's a very, very practical, tangible series. And we want to talk about some ways to build friendship inside of your marriage. And you might be doing great right now, and this is a good reminder to keep watering. This might be good refreshers. This might be exactly what you need right now, or you might not even be married yet in this room, but it might be coming someday. This is good to know and good to be ready for. So here's 3 ways to build friendship in marriage. The first one is this: face to face. Face to face. Hi.
Hi.
I like you.
Like you.
Well, that got real for a second. Hold on, guys. You've got to relearn the lost art of face-to-face conversation. And I say lost art because it's not just in marriage that we've lost this art. As people, we have lost the art of face-to-face conversation. We're really good at thumb-to-thumb conversation. We're really good at well, just all sorts of other ones. But this is a lost art. Even if you look at how houses are built today, most kitchens don't have room for a dining table anymore. You have an island, and you sit side by side. You don't even get to lock eyes with people anymore. I'm talking like real life. You sit across the table from someone, or you sit on a couch and look at each other, or you go out to dinner. And don't be same side sitters. That's just weird.
Weird.
Be on opposite sides and look at each other and have real conversations. There's a verse earlier in Song of Songs that describes it well. Chapter 2, verse 14. My dove is hiding behind the rocks, behind the outcrop on the cliff. Let me see your face. Let me hear your voice, for your voice is pleasant and your face is lovely. See, this woman in this is playing hard to get, and she's out hiding and making him come find her, and it's cute and it's exciting. But the end goal is that face-to-face time of being able to see each other and invest in each other face-to-face.
And remember the time when you first started dating and your friendship was growing and you could talk on the phone for hours. We have a teenager who has a girlfriend who is on the phone for hours and hours and hours and hours. And at some point, we were all there, and somehow we've all made it to, what's for dinner? I don't want to cook. Pizza, question mark. Yeah. Right?
That was actually this week's text conversation.
That really
That's a real life example right there.
I really want pizza.
And we
Please
did end
don't
up with pizza, just so you all know.
But our conversations change, right? And so it's important to get back to that time where we're wanting to converse with each other and be in conversation.
Yeah, one of the greatest tips I've ever heard was to have the thing you once had, you have to do the things you once did. And if what you once had was so much time together, where all you wanted to do is talk, you got to get back to that place where you find those times and create those times. Or if that's something you've never had, then you have to do things you've never done and find ways to engage in this and to have those meaningful conversations together.
Absolutely. So make time where your only goal is to talk. And for those of you that know me, you're like, wow, Steph, you probably nailed this one.
And she
because
does.
I am a talker. But here's what I'm going to tell you. The reality is talking and communicating are very different, right? So we both have jobs that are very people-focused, but in a very different way. So he spends the day in the office with lots of people coming in and out. He's investing in people. So he'll send me messages and texts like, here's what I'm thinking, here's what we should do, asking me questions. And I'm over in the medical field with people, and it is fast-paced and high energy and a lot of quick decisions. And so I don't even look at my phone until later. By the time we get home and I'm ready to answer those questions, he's like, done. I'm done. I'm done. And I'm like, wait, but I have all these things to tell you. The other time that I love to talk is literally the minute that we get in bed.
It's true.
To sleep or not to sleep.
Especially if my eyes are half closed. That's when she's ready for a full-on conversation.
7,000 things. I remember all of the things
come
I forgot
flooding
to
back
tell
to you.
Exactly. So, I mean, it is hard. The other thing that is true is how many times are we talking to our spouse, but we're also texting or watching Facebook Reels or watching TikTok or, right? Like, we're not actually listening and engaging. So I'm way more guilty of that than he is. So he'll call me out and be like, you have no idea what I said. And I'm like, yes, I do. No, I don't. I have no idea. I have no idea. So take your phone, set it down, and actually have a face-to-face conversation.
And I'll just throw something out there for men. This is stereotypically a men's issue. It's not only a men's issue, but I am very, very good at hearing what she says and solving that problem. I'm really good at hearing that and going, oh, well, here's what you need to do. And I have to shut up, okay? And I got to learn how to listen and how to feel things with her and not just to solve her problems.
Right, but not just listen and not just solve. You have to give me validation.
I do.
That is so frustrating.
Yeah.
Right? That is so
Which is really hard for me because I'm a fixer and I'm like, yeah, that's frustrating, but here's what you gotta do. And she's not ready for that in the moment. And that's okay. Like, that's okay. And you have to learn that art of each other in the conversation. And it's not just problems to be solved, it's also feelings to be explored. And that's out of character for me. But I need that in my life, and she brings that out in me. And then we can have some of the other conversations on the other side of that too. But it's more than just staying long enough to connect and say, okay, we did this, we checked the box, yep, we talked today. But actually, like, connect with each other. Not just communicate, but connect with each other through those conversations.
All right, so the next way to build friendship and marriage is side to side. Spend time with your spouse. Spend time doing things that you both enjoy doing, or maybe only one of you enjoys doing. Here's the key, though. Chores don't really count, okay? So I know that you're gonna do them together sometimes. That doesn't count. Find something that you both love doing. We had a couple once tell us that if you go someplace without your children and you hold hands, that's a date. So just keep that in mind, right? Like, set the bar low.
Listen, if you have kids and you go anywhere without your kids, it feels like a date.
It is a date.
It's a vacation.
Hold hands.
It's all
check.
good.
You've dated. So in our relationship, date nights have always been really important. When the kids were younger, he had to push me a little bit more. And now it's like, sweet, let's go. But it's so important to us that we have a budget line. We're budgeters, and so we have a budget line that's for date nights. And so every month we try and go out.
But it doesn't have to even cost you anything.
No,
it could be free. It's just
absolutely.
deliberate time together.
Typically, our date nights in the bustling metropolis of Mount Pleasant include going out to dinner and then going shopping. Key is not grocery shopping, fun shopping, right? Like, you're like sitting in a Target cart and getting pushed by your spouse down the aisle.
I would never do that.
He is hilarious at Target when we don't have our kids. I don't know if it's just like, it's just very freeing for him.
No, it's a coping mechanism.
So he like puts on, it's like all the hats have been tried on and then all of the toys have been played with. And I mean, like, we laugh so
Here's my strategy.
hard.
Can I just be real?
Yeah.
My strategy is, if you're goofy and you play with all the things, you won't want to buy anything. And it's a great strategy. It never works, but I try it every time.
I know.
Every time.
That's actually hilarious that that's your strategy, but it makes sense.
It totally makes sense.
Nice try.
Listen.
Anyways, okay, let's get back to it. Okay, so our next verse that goes along with our side to side is Song of Songs 7:11. Come, my love, let us go out to the fields and spend the night among the wildflowers.
That's not my ideal date, by the way.
No?
But that's exactly what's being described here. It's this date night out. It's let's get away from this life that we do every day. Let's get away from all of our duties and expectations and jobs and all these things that are normal routine. And let's get away together. Let's invest in that time.
And the thing that's hard to remember is that marriage is not the finish line for dating. It's the starting line, right? You've spent all this time investing in each other as friends while you're dating, and then you get married. That's when you really start the fun, right? That's when you really want to pursue each other with that friendship and that dating.
And I'll say in this too, like, do the things that we like to do together, but also do the things that the other person likes to do. There's something in us sometimes where we look at our spouse and their hobbies and their interests, and we're like, well, let's just give them their space to go do that thing, which is important. Give your spouse space to go do the things they enjoy doing, but sometimes invade that space and go in there with them. Don't criticize the things they like to do, join them in it. And invest in that time together. And I find this especially true, again, stereotyping men, but this is, sometimes it goes both ways in this. Men are most likely to open up about their feelings and what they're experiencing in life while they're doing the thing they love to do. They're already in their happy space. They're in a space where they feel comfortable and themselves, and so they're more likely to open up and share what's actually going on or what they're working on, or even sometimes right after they've done that thing that brings them joy and fills them up. Be ready for that and engage in those conversations. Don't stop stepping into your spouse's world, because when you stop stepping into your spouse's world, the whole friendship starts to evaporate, and it's just no good. So make sure you invest in that time, even if you don't like doing the thing. I like her, and so I like doing the thing with her, and so invest in that time side to side. Last one. Let's keep going with this. Face to face, side to side. Our last one, cheek to cheek. And I'll give you 3 guesses what I mean by this. You probably only needed one. you got to invest in your marriage in that exact same way. Song of Songs, like it doesn't take long to even get into this. This is literally verse 2 of the entire book. It says this line, "Kiss me and kiss me again, for your love is sweeter than wine." I am not a fan of wine. I am a fan of those kisses, though. And so it's important to invest in that cheek-to-cheek time. Why is that embarrassing?
I don't know. It just was funny. It made me
That's
blush.
about as PG as it gets.
I know. It was funny.
Like, that's second base. That's it. No, is that first? I don't
That's
even know.
first.
I don't even know what bases are.
I think that might be first.
Was that first? I thought holding hands was first. I don't know. Let's not get into
Okay,
this.
let's go.
We have our lunchtime conversation ready to go.
Yeah.
Listen, I have a brother who's an OBGYN. And it's funny to listen to stories that he brings to the Thanksgiving dinner table.
Yeah.
Some of them are wild. And I remember one that he brought where he was talking about this lady who came into his office, and she said, "Doctor, I don't even know how I got pregnant." And he was like, I do. Like, let me explain to you. And it's funny to hear those stories, but he's talking to me about marriages in the church, and we talk about faith and all this stuff. And he said it's funny because the whole command of be fruitful and multiply, that's the one we're good at as people. Yeah. Like, nobody's sitting there going, nah. Like, but we do that with other commands. This is one that we're naturally good at. But it takes work and it takes purposeful investment in that. And let me say this very clearly. We're commanded all throughout Scripture that there is a context for this, and it's inside of the context of marriage. That's where this belongs. And inside of that, you've got to nurture it. You've got to care for it. You've got to invest in that passion, because when the passion starts to fade, the friendship starts to fade. And when the friendship starts to fade, the passion fades. And you got to fight for that together. But the idea of being friends with benefits, let's just call it what it is. You got to be friends first. You've got to be friends first, and then benefits inside of the context of marriage again. You've got to invest in that friendship. Be friends first.
Absolutely, because when friendship grows, everything benefits. Your intimacy, your unity, your faith, all of it. Because the best marriages are built on friendship. So we have a challenge for you guys all for the week. And the challenge is treat your spouse like they're a gift from God, because they are.
Mm-hmm. And we don't want you to just love your spouse. We do want you to love your spouse, but we want you to like them again, too. And some of you, maybe it's been a while since you've liked them. And you have to invest in that friendship and dig into that. For others of you, you're doing awesome. You're living your best lives. Your marriage is great, and you're succeeding. Keep watering that. Keep investing in that friendship, because it doesn't naturally grow itself. It doesn't get better over time without doing anything. It gets better because you care for it and you nurture it and grow it into an even better thing. So here's what we want to do. If you would you throw the QR code up on the screen? If your marriage is struggling and you need somebody to pray with you, first of all, you're not alone. There are many who go through this. We want to pray with you. We want to be there for you. If your marriage is doing awesome and you just want somebody to keep praying for you, that it keeps going awesome, fill out this QR code and let us know. If you're in a place where you're not married yet, but it's coming someday, maybe it's next year, maybe it's 20 years from now, who knows? But you want to be the best version of you and be ready for that, so that you can help your spouse to grow to look more like Christ, and you can look the most like Christ before you even get married. Let us know on here. We're going to pray with you. We're going to support you. We're going to come alongside you with every little bit of this. But every part of this matters. When your marriage is healthy, every other part of your life gets healthier too. And so invest in that marriage and that friendship inside of your marriage this week. So let me pray for us all. I want to pray over your marriage and our marriage too, because why not? And let's ask God's blessing over this. God, I thank you for the gift of relationships. I thank you that you never made us to do this alone. You never asked us to even try. God, you made a helper. You made someone to be with us to complete the picture right from the beginning. And God, I pray that as we live out these marriages, as we try to model a marriage that looks like Christ, that makes the other person look more like Jesus, that serves the other person sacrificially, that invests in this friendship, God, I pray for your blessing with every little bit of it. God, I pray for the strongest marriages we've ever had in this room and those watching online. I pray that you give us strength where there's weakness. I pray that you give us unity where there's disagreement. And I pray that you grow us as we grow each other. Help us to follow you with everything we've got. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.